Hey everybody, it's your girl Jalea, and I'm here with another installment of InHer Style. And before we get started, if you guys can see this saying here, right here, it says press down, shaking together. This is something I want you guys to go check out. I will leave all the links below in the description bar. It is the ministry that my husband has been blessed with. It's called Empower the Word. So go down below and check it out there. So InHer Style segment today is actually going to still be a continuation of the transformation, but instead of it being, the beginning of the transformation, not the beginning of the transformation, instead of it being what the transformation is, it's the starting point. This is like focusing in on that starting point and how to have a true, genuine transformation. So the verse that we used the first time was Ephesians 5, 15, and 16, I believe. Let me make sure I got them correct. My cute little notebook. Yes, Ephesians 5, 15 through 17. The verse will be down below, the one that we came based out of. But it's talking about living life with honor, purpose, and courage, leaving behind the things that enable evil, being wise and intelligent and using your discernment, and not being foolish and doing the will of the Lord. If I could just put it like in a quick little one sentence synopsis. So in all of those things, we have decided we want to change. Like I said, that new year, new me, but we're going to take the new moment, new me, new mindset, new heart, new zeal for Christ. You know what I'm saying? So the starting point of our transformation, and a verse that was put to kind of go and coincide with the Ephesians 5, 15 through 17 was Psalm 139, verses 23 and 24. Search me, God, and know my heart. Test me and know my anxious thoughts. 24. See if there's any offense way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting. And in my Bible, there was a little, if you have a study Bible, there's a reference section. And with that, I was referenced to Psalm 16, 9 through 11. And it was saying that it is no light matter to be examined by God. And it just referenced another part of that verse, the second verse I threw out. But it is not a light matter to be examined by God. So we cannot take this transformation of our mind, our heart, and our soul lightly at all. So any given moment, at any given day, somebody can tell you where you fall short, right? Oh, you are always late. Oh, I thought you were going to do this. Oh, you promised this. We're very aware of our shortcomings. We don't need anybody to remind us. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot of times it's not done in love, and it's not done in a way that help boost me into wanting to change it. It's more of a dig. And what I come to realize is that I don't want nobody else doing that for me. I want God to change me. I want God to show me the parts that I need to change, because I can take it from an unbiased source. God loves all of us equally. He's not going to be harder on me than he is on somebody else, or vice versa. God is really going to be a father who loves all his children equally and unconditionally. So I'd rather go to my father and say, Daddy, I want to change. And you know me because you made me. You knew my destiny, and you formed all of that in the womb before I even came out. You knew all of these things. So with that, God, can you please show me where it is that my heart needs to change? Okay, so then God's going to bring up some stuff. You still harboring unforgiveness. You're still being jealous and envious of people's lives or their circumstances, or the fact that some people actually get jealous because they don't struggle like other people. And like the whole rapper thing, like people that they ain't from the hood, they never had that life, but they kind of jealous of that life because they feel like that's what make a rapper. And so they go in these streets talking about, it's hard out here for a pimp, and you ain't never been no pimp. You know what I'm saying? I know that's a real side note, but in general, you have to really clear out all that stuff and unblock your heart and able to move forward. And the only person that's going to bring up those things is God, because what he does is he provides situations, people, and circumstances that will make that stuff come out. And I say this because I'm going to give some examples for myself. Like, I never knew how my husband and I clashing was really based on things that were a problem for me with lack of fatherhood, or the lack of a presence of a good father figure. But I would be jealous of my daughter at moments, but not in a way that I harmed her. But there was a part of me that was like, I wish I had that longing and that coveting of her relationship with my husband that I did not have. And God had to really unlock that for me, because I never knew why I didn't really want a daughter. I was really scared to have a daughter for a long time. And I think that was, I'm not going to say I think, I know that it was because I didn't have a father. And I knew that I just did not want to see her with her dad, because it would just always remind me of the fact that I don't. Like, even now, my children be like, well, where is your dad, Mom? Like, just literally last night, my youngest 4-year-old, he was like, well, where's your dad, Mom? I said, well, I don't know, but I got Jesus, and I know God takes care of me, so that's my dad. I don't have one like you guys have one here. So, like, I really had to clean that part out so that I can genuinely look at my husband as an awesome father, and look at my daughter as a blessed child to have that relationship with her father. Because if not, I would have just been self-centered around their relationship, and that just doesn't make any sense. Other situations he had to bring about, like not being able to forgive the person who harmed me, and also a lot of these things end up being things that happen between me and my husband, or we had to work through, because I've spent the majority of my life with him, and we've grown so much spiritually. A lot of our battles have been within our marriage. But being able to allow my husband to touch me in a certain way because someone has touched me inappropriately, that I now have to change my mindset of, oh, you're being touched in love and out of desire, and not out of perversion or harm, you know? So God will bring these things up to break them down. And we have to really be prepared for those things. So that's why we have to start at the point of the conception of the idea that I want a new heart. I want a new life. I want a new walk. I want everything anew in the light of Jesus. And when we take that, we're saving ourselves from the world. We're not saving ourselves, but we're choosing to save ourselves by latching on to Jesus and not sitting around and be like, oh, well, I'm lazy, and I do this. Because we talk to ourselves so bad. We talk to ourselves so unkind at times, you know. And God is the one that will come and talk to us in a comforting way, in an encouraging way, when you can't do it for yourself. So I know that what sparked my change for me, and the reason I keep referencing myself is because I can only come from my perspective. What sparked the biggest change in me, again, my relationship with my husband. But once I started to look at it, and I was like, you're really hurting yourself because you don't like you. And the moment that I realized that I didn't like me, I knew that I couldn't change me because I didn't like me. So who's going to change somebody they don't like? Nobody. You can't change nobody. So I was like, God, can you change me? Because I don't even know where to begin with this person that I am. And I'm grateful that he has been with me since the day that I realized that, and he has helped transform me tremendously. And when I can't even, like, if I had a scroll, like, it will go on forever because I just could not put it into words. I'm looking down because I'm getting ready to read something that I was writing. It does not mean that the change is going to be easy because we're asking God to do it. But it's surely the best for us. We can follow all the rules in order to be a good person and be considered good people in the world. But we need a clean heart in order to be good servants. And that's the goal. It can sometimes look to you like you're a whole different person. And you're right. The person you're becoming is who God called you to be. So step into it without fear. But also know it is no short or simple task. It is an ongoing process that benefits you, your family, your church, your community, your job, and your world. Be that change. Embody that change. Ask God for that change. I wrote that part because we can get caught up in just masking the things that are inside of us. Like if you're not a naturally giving person, you'll just be like, okay, well, I'll just give more. Here, here, here. But is it in your heart to do it? Or are you making it an obligation just so you can look like a good person? You know what I'm saying? Like, don't just wear the good person clothes. Have the good person mindset. And the only way that all changes is if it's centered around Christ. Not changing because your man think you mean and this and that. He could think you mean and you probably should change, but that's not going to make a lasting change, you know? Or change because you want to get more friends. But those are superficial changes, will pull you in superficial friends. So take this moment, take this time to make the genuine choice to become not just a good person, but a good servant in the kingdom of Christ. I know this was kind of short because this is what he gave me this morning, and I've been kind of working on it, but the way that it came together, God gave that to me this morning, and I'm so grateful for it because it speaks to a part of me all the time. Because even now, there's a part of me that I'm like, God, you have to change it because I can't change it. But what I can do is follow your cue on it, and it's my follow through. I have a hard time with following through when I get to a certain level of anxiety or what is the word? My brain just went blank, but I'm just going to have to use anxiety. Like when I get to a certain level of overwhelmness, that's the word I was looking for. I sit still and I don't follow through. And God has to be the one to knock down that little fear wall that's trying to build when those things happen. I'm the person that if I get overwhelmed, I sit still in my house. Like my house could be a total wreck, and in my mind, I'm cleaning it up, but my body won't move. And so I have to ask God to change that part of me, to keep me moving. A lot of times physically, even though mentally my brain is going wild. But first I ask him to calm my brain and ask him to get my members moving. So I can't do it for myself because that's part of my nature and part of the way that I'm made up. But God changes it all the time. Just today, I got a little overwhelmed with putting this together because I always want to make sure that I'm doing things decent and in order. And I almost sat there and didn't move. I was occupying myself doing something productive, but I sat still on the task at hand. So I just want to let you ladies and gentlemen know that I love you. And it can change, and it's possible. And God is the key. Accepting Jesus Christ as your Savior and asking God to do the transformation within you so you don't have to do it yourself. Because that is a lot to ask someone who doesn't have the power to do something like that, because you will disappoint yourself. And women, I posted something today on my Instagram. I'm going to link it. I posted it today on my Instagram. I'm posting this video tomorrow. So I will put today's post down there. We have to pray over our families. We have to pray over our husband and our children. And there's a verse that I wanted you to use to build a prayer for you and your family. Something that even if y'all just recite it together or you recite over them until they come to understand what you're doing. Because sometimes we got to do things on our own and explain it and prepare our families and get them, accustomed to those things. So I'm going to post that down below. And women, also share this ministry with your husband and yourselves, your youth. This is going to be a booming millennial ministry right here. Empower the word. I just thank the Lord for blessing me and my husband with these twin ministries for men and women and millennials all alike. And we're going to walk in our purpose, and we're going to do it courageously, honorably, and purposefully. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next InHer Style installment. Bye.